Now that you have an idea of the interface and how the tool works, we're going to get into specifics of how to choose keywords for each particular City National Bank page. So starting with our LA Galaxy testimonial page, the first step is to actually visit the page, read what the page is about, and brainstorm some possible key terms that could apply to this page. So based on the information here, I selected the terms Treasury Management, Cash Management Services, and Private Banking. Subsequently, I go to the tool and I will type those terms into SE Cockpit by doing a new keyword search. So here you can see some of the searches that we've performed, and I will then look at some of the parameters to determine what would be the ideal term for us to focus on. So here's, for example, the term cash management, and here are the results. So what I do when I'm on this page is I sort by competition. I want the low competition up at the top, and then I'm going to look at the monthly searches. The more monthly searches, the better. So from looking at this term, cash management techniques looks like a great keyword. Low competition, a good amount of monthly searches, and if I click on the keyword, I can take a look at the specific competition for this term, and by looking at the total number of links, the page authority, the MOS rank, it's apparent that this is a great keyword to target. So subsequently, I will then make the selection that for this page, we're going to incorporate cash management techniques as the focus keyword. The next page is another testimonial for CallStar, and it has some of the same terms. So I'm going to once again go back to my list and here, and then take a look at some other terms. So we already know that cash management is a great term. Now we have these two over here, cash management services and cash management solutions. Both of these look like fantastic terms. So we can take a quick look at the competition and determine if these are viable terms. So this one has Wikipedia Chase, US Bank, but here I can see there's the People's Bank. That site isn't very authoritative. First City Bank isn't very authoritative, same with Banner Bank. So right there we have at least 3 opportunities to rank. Also this one, BBT.com. So at least 4 opportunities to rank in the top 10. So once again, this is another great term to use. So then I will enter that term, cash management services, into my keyword slot. Now I'm going to skip some of these others because they're very similar and go towards your campaign landing page. So for this one, we have more generic terms, so business banking services, business loans. We then have to perform a search for much more generic keywords. So then I have already searched for business banking, and here are the results that I have. So I've already sorted this. I've filtered it. So here's what you do to make filters. I filter it by, I go less than 40. So this basically keeps all of the results that are not very competitive. And then I filter it over here also by keywords that have more than 200 queries a month. And these are the results I get. So then I sort by monthly searches. So these are the larger keywords. So then I will start scanning and going down this list to see what would be the most viable term for that page. So small business bank account seems like it would be a fantastic term. It has a good number of monthly searches and it's very relevant. But if I click on this page and I look at the top 10, I can see the first 2 are Bank of America, then Wells Fargo, Chase, US Bank, Citibank, About.com, Bank of the West, and .gov. So all of these are highly authoritative sites that are going to be very difficult to beat. So this, even though it's a great term, we won't get any exposure if we're not able to rank in the top 10. So after analyzing many of these keywords, it's apparent that many of them have a very competitive sites ranking. So this keyword, small business lines of credit, if I actually look at the competition, even though there are several sites that are very competitive, the page authority on the last 4 isn't as high, and these are not the highly authoritative, highly well-known websites like Wells Fargo, SBA.gov. So these 3 are, but here we start getting into a site that we could probably overcome, as well as this one and possibly this one as well as this one. So we can then determine that small business lines of credit would be a good keyword for this page. Now, since this page is also about banking, we don't have to just do the exact keyword. So it doesn't just have to be small business lines of credit. Google itself will create the combination even if we add the word banking into the term. So small business banking and lines of credit would become small business lines of credit, banking lines of credit, small business banking lines of credit, etc. So it creates a lot of variations. Next, we're going to look at the individual borrow money page. So I started writing down some terms that I thought might be relevant: line of credit, individual line of credit. But when I actually looked at the tool for those terms, they were not viable terms. So I played around, and the term that I came up with that I thought would work very well was small personal loans. As you can see, it has a high number of monthly searches, and the competition is relatively low. And if you actually look at the competition, you can see that we have a couple of green rows, which means that we have 2 or 3, possibly even 4 spots where C and B could rank. So then small personal loans becomes the target term for this page. So as you can see, it's not a straightforward process. It could be that what you think might work may not even be the direction you end up going in. You can do many searches and just play around. As you can see over here, I had to do many searches for all these relevant terms to come up with a good seed set of terms. If you look over here, these are a lot of the terms that I chose, and the way that you can create a folder by you add a favorite folder, and then, for example, you can go to one of these searches and you just simply drag it to your folder, and then once you drag it into your folder, it becomes accessible as a list. And then later on, you can actually export that list and work with the information. As you can see here, I can go now to, and these are the keywords that I selected based on various criteria. But primarily they had low competition, good amount of searches, and low competition. And that's it for this video. Thank you very much.